Good morning, good morning. It is Monday morning coffee calibration, and boy, I forgot to look at the date. It is Monday, November 11th, and I am your mentor coach. Me today, we are on week 2 of my sessions on gratitude. And I think that the information I'm going to share with you today and the exercises we're going to go through could be extremely helpful for some of you. And so I just invite you to take a moment to settle into your chair, set your phone aside, perhaps put it on silent so that you're not distracted as we calibrate our energy together. And I hope that you have your favorite beverage. If you are joining me in the morning, I hope you have your coffee, your tea, your Diet Coke, whatever. And if you are one of my dear international friends, perhaps you have a cocktail. Regardless, if nothing else, grab yourself a glass of water because you can always use more water, right? Excellent. Okay. So, as always, we are going to start this session off by generating some uh, uh, high vibration, some state. And we're going to do that by thinking in a moment about something that we're grateful for and something that we're proud of. And I'm going to invite you, if you would, to close your eyes with me, and we will get started. And it looks like there's somebody grateful for me being here today. He wants to play a little. I have to say, Zion, Lovey, go lie down. No, I can't play with you right now. Go lie down. You want to say hi? Come here. Look. Yeah, there's his nose. Anyway, he seems to think as soon as I sit down that it's time to play. But anyway, I am happy and grateful to have my playful puppies. So, I love you. Go lie down. Go lie down. Okay. And hopefully that put a smile on your face. That might raise your vibration a little in and of itself. So here we go. Brilliantly and imperfectly, I'm moving forward. Thank you all for joining me. Like I said, I will take questions towards the end. If you do have questions or comments, please put them in the chat, and then I will try and go through them a little later. Okay. So here we go. So you're closing your eyes, and I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. In through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. Okay. Now, in this pause, as we're breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths, it helps support our nervous system. And it helps us to calibrate our energy, because as you breathe in and then breathe out in a controlled manner, your body gets the message that it can be calm. When you're in a fight, flight, or freeze feeling, you're going to be breathing a lot. Right? Heavy breathing. And that is a signal to the brain to put endorphins into the body and to create a situation where you can run that race. You can do whatever you need to do to escape that lion. Well, in this case, even though we're not being chased by a lion, we're still feeling some stuff inside of us that may be causing some constriction, some worry, some anxiety, some doubt. And so what we want to do is calm that part of you down right now and talk to the part of you that we know is higher than that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth, like we're blowing through a straw. And I'm going to invite you, as you do that, to start to envision as you're breathing in through your nose that you're breathing in golden, clear, beautiful, cleansing light. It could be silver, it could be gold, it could be white, it could be green. I have a client for whom it's lavender. Doesn't matter, whatever color that loving, beautiful, healing light is, breathe it in. And as you do that, see it slowly seeping in through your head, down your neck, into your shoulders, into your fingertips. It starts to move down your torso. It passes through your abdomen, down through the root chakra, all the way down into your legs and your feet. And your body is now a glowing ball of bright energy. And as your body fills up with this energy and you're breathing out through your mouth, like you're blowing through a straw, envision that you are pushing out all of that negativity, any worry, concern, hate, fear that you're feeling. Just breathe it out. There's no more room for it. All of this golden, beautiful light that you've breathed in is replacing it. Awesome. Now notice, is there somewhere in your body that still feels tight? Perhaps it's in your chest, your solar plexus, your throat. And I want you to focus on that area. And as you breathe in that golden light, I want you to breathe light into that area. And I want you to make it a huge glowing ball of energetic healing light. And as you do that, I want you to consciously relax all of your muscles. Relax the muscles in that area. Perhaps your neck is tight, your chest is tight. Maybe you need to sit back and relax your abdominal muscles. Wherever it is that you're feeling tight, I want you to relax it. And just feel what it feels like to be glowing, healing, positive energy. And in that, I want you to start to feel that that energy is radiating out from you. It's almost like you are the sun radiating energy out, and that energy is going out into the world, and it is connecting with the people and the things in your environment. And you are blessing everything and everyone with this positive energy. And as you start to think about all of the people and things that you are blessing in your life today, I want you to also start to think about what is one thing that you are grateful for in this moment? One important thing that you're grateful for in this moment. And I want you to also think about, in that gratitude, something that you're proud of. Okay. Now, the proud of acknowledges the part of us that has taken an action, right? We can be grateful for a situation, but it's actually the things that we physically do, the actions that we take, that help serve our vision or our dreams, right? So if you can start to become more proud of the things that you do when you take an action, it will help provide the rocket fuel you need in order to propel you forward. So we all recognize that part of us in human form can or cannot take action, and we have the power of will, and we have to actually use this power of our will or free will in order to take an action step towards our dreams. Now, as we use our faculty of will, we're doing that by giving ourselves a command and following through with an action. Now, it's important for us to acknowledge that part of us that takes action and name it by giving it something that we're proud of. Now, if you're interested in sharing, feel free to put something you're grateful for, something you're proud of in the chat. And that would be awesome. And I'll share those in a moment. And something that I'm grateful for, I will start by modeling this, of course. Something that I'm grateful for is that I am very grateful to be an American and to have the opportunity to vote and to voice my opinion in what happens in my world. So many millions and billions of people in this world do not have that chance. And so, regardless of my feelings about an election, I am so happy and grateful that I have that opportunity. And I am so happy and grateful that throughout this election season, I have really tried to keep a high vibration about it, regardless of what I was afraid the outcome was going to be. Now, what I'm proud of is that I did stay in that high vibration, and I wasn't watching election results as they walked in, as they rolled in, and I accepted the results, and I am now just looking at what do I need to do in my daily life in order to move forward, because what happened last Tuesday really didn't matter in what's going to happen to me today. I am president today, and I am doing my work for me today. So I am proud of myself for continuing to do that. And I actually feel like one of the things about this uh, is going to give me an opportunity, because I finished my Empowering Peace Builders program through the Rotary Action Group for Peace yesterday. It was a 6-week intensive class on nonviolent communication and peace building. And I think I'm going to turn that into a program. So I'm proud of myself for actually deciding to take an action step in that and put out a program that I think may or may not be accepted well at this point. We'll see. Anyway, I always have that fear. We always have that self-doubt about, am I doing the right thing? Am I exposing myself by doing something that might feel vulnerable? And so I am proud of myself for putting it out there, being vulnerable. Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to read a couple of these. I'm grateful for my husband. He brought me flowers. Proud that I paid off my credit card. Excellent. Yeah. Grateful for my dog. Grateful for my boss who gave me a raise. Excellent. Excellent. I'm proud that I signed up for music lessons. Okay. Great. Great. Some wonderful things going on in people's lives. Why don't you continue to add those, and feel free to scroll down and read through them, because I think that seeing what other people are grateful for helps us remain grateful as well. Okay. So I am going to also say I am grateful today, which is Veterans Day, for all of the men and women who have served in the military, protecting America. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you very much. Our military is very important, and it has made us who we are today. And without you, who knows what would happen. So thank you. Thank you. We're in a period of our history where we have had more continuous ongoing military engagement by the United States than we've had in any other time in our history. And so we now have more veterans in our population than we've ever had at any given time. And I encourage you to continue to support our veterans. Always make sure that they get what they need, because they've gone through some tough stuff on our behalf, and they deserve the best. God bless. Okay. So after that, I need to take a little bit of a sip of coffee. As an empath, I tend to get pretty emotional about things, and so really try not to actually cry on my videos, but I do feel things like that when I do talk about them. And so yeah. I am going to read a little excerpt of a book by Mary, my mentor, called them. Let me see if I can get it here where you can see it. The Miracle Moment. And this is a really great book. It just contains short excerpts of different things, different thoughts and writings, practical wisdom to inspire your day. And I use this oftentimes as I am meditating in the morning. I just simply open it up and I find a page that speaks to me and I read it to myself kind of as my little daily wisdom. And today we're going to have one that is right in our theme of gratitude, and it's called Gratitude in All Things. I'm not the perfect reader, but I am going to try and make this as understandable as possible. Bear with me. And at the end, let's talk a minute about, what this means to you. Okay? Grateful in all things. The Apostle Paul wrote from a dark, dank prison, a really horrendous place, not prisons like we know today. From that place, he wrote these words: I have learned this one thing in life. If someone were to say to you today, what's the one thing that you've learned in life? What would you say? Paul says, I have learned this one thing in life. I have learned this, that whatever state I find myself therein, to be grateful. Whatever condition in which I find myself therein, to be grateful. Now, he's saying something very important for us in the experience of the amplified living that comes from a state of gratitude. He's saying, I'm not grateful for being in this prison. He's not saying, I'm not grateful for the experience. I'm grateful in the experience. We're all in the condition of experience, which is the outpicturing of the life that we're living. We call it our situations, our circumstances, or our conditions. No matter what the conditions, be grateful because gratitude is transformative. Gratitude lifts our perspective. Gratitude changes the vibratory field in such a way that we begin to have access to the field of all possibilities. So no matter what state, no matter what condition in which we find ourselves right now, we simply move to a state of gratitude, therein to be grateful. We begin to open up, allow, ask for, and experience the miracle that is here for every one of us today. No matter what circumstance they're in today, I am practicing being grateful. So I really like that. There Mary focuses a lot on being grateful in, and I want to talk about this a little bit more because I think there's some more juicy stuff here for us. Most of us, when we think about being grateful, I'm going to pull my notes up over here. We think about, I'm going to be grateful if or when, right? I'm going to be grateful if my boyfriend gives me flowers. I'm going to be grateful when my candidate wins the election, right? I'm going to be grateful for whatever, and it's a reactive thing, okay? This especially comes into play when we are simply looking at the things that are surface level, are material. They're condition based. They're basically a response to the situations, conditions, and circumstances of our lives. Those are not things that we can control. Okay. So that is being grateful if or when. Okay. Now there's also being grateful for. And when you're grateful for, It's attached to an experience, or a form of life. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my strong legs. I'm grateful for the fact that I live in these gorgeous mountains and that the sunlight is streaming through the windows and that it's a warm day in November where I'm actually going to be able to peel poles. I'm sorry, thinking about what I'm going to be doing later. And so it's being attached to an experience or a thing that's going on and being grateful for the fact that I live in America, right? Okay. But what Mary was talking about in her reading was being grateful in. Now, what is grateful in? Grateful is being grateful beyond the conditions that we're encountering. Okay. Despite the fact that I may not like the outcome of the election, I can still be grateful for the fact that I'm an American and I can vote. Okay. Whatever condition we encounter, therein we still have to be grateful. Nelson Mandela said that for the first 10 years he was in prison, he was resentful, he was angry, he was miserable because he was poorly treated, he was in poor conditions, and the anger and the resentment and the fear consumed him for 10 years. But after 10 years, something happened because he had a life sentence. And he decided at that point that he needed to start thinking about what he was grateful for because he was still alive. They hadn't killed him. He was grateful for the fact that he could still communicate with friends and family members. And he could actually see how, if he changed his attitude and his behavior, things could turn around. Now, I have a feeling some of you already might know this story, but the fact of the matter is that he did turn it around. And by the time he was released from prison, he had been moved to better accommodations. He was well treated, and he had become friends with some of his guards. In fact, when he was elected president and he was inaugurated, 2 of his bodyguards from prison had become his bodyguards in real life, and they were there guarding him at his inauguration. Okay. Because he became grateful for them and what they provided for him, despite the fact that they were in a prison. Okay. He was grateful in what he could accomplish, and he totally changed his attitude. And the first thing he did was step into gratitude. Now, how do we step into gratitude? I think that this is another important step. Last week, I talked a little bit about starting a gratitude journal. Did you do it? Put a yes in the chat if you started a gratitude journal. I intended to. That's honest. Be honest with yourself, and consider, after today's lesson, maybe going ahead and doing it. Take a baby step. Go dig that old notebook out of the bottom of your desk drawer. And this doesn't have to be a big deal. Just try it. Okay. So how do we generate gratitude? Let's talk about some more things. First of all, you can generate gratitude by journaling, by speaking out loud gratitude affirmations or what you're grateful for. Part of what I try and do in the morning when I'm doing my morning practice, which includes a number of things at this point, is I go through a whole list of everything that I'm grateful for. And I do not only before I get out of bed in the morning, 5 things I'm grateful for the day, but as I'm doing my morning meditation and visualization practice, I actually will sit and speak out loud as many things that I can think of that I'm grateful for in that moment. Okay. So generate gratitude. And you could do this within yourself. This is something you can do even though you may be in a difficult situation, right? Start thinking about what you are grateful for, and it will change what you're thinking about in terms of your focus. You know, when you focus on something different, it will change your feelings and your emotions. And that's where we're at, is we need to change our emotions, get to a higher vibration, right? Now, the second way that you can create gratitude is to witness gratitude. Witness gratitude. This means that you're observing others who are in gratitude. Okay. If you're at the grocery store and you see one customer thanking another customer for handing him something, or for whatever, right? Grabbing his child out of the way of a cart that was coming, for giving him the last can of peas, whatever it is. You can witness other people being grateful, and that will create gratitude in yourself. So start to notice as other people are being grateful. Okay. Third, I want you to learn to receive gratitude. This is actually harder than it sounds. Now, a lot of people will say thank you to us, and we often will say, oh, that's all right, doesn't matter. Oh, I would have done that anyway, or oh, it's no big deal, right? Well, when you do that, you're rejecting your gratitude. You're rejecting the energy, the positive energy that this person is giving you. This is a gift. Receive it. Okay. Thank you very much for acknowledging my effort. Thank you. I really appreciate your feedback. Wow, I really appreciate that. That makes me feel great. All right. I appreciate what you're giving me as a gift. Now, as soon as you accept that gratitude, what happens? Your gratitude goes way up, right? When somebody appreciates you, it's the best feeling in the world. Why is this? It's because they're expressing love. Okay. Everything is either an expression of love or a call for love. And so in this case, we're talking about expressions of love, and that's super, super important. Now, what do I mean by a call for love? A call for love usually happens when somebody is in doubt, fear, or some kind of lack. And, you know, it's okay to have fear. Totally okay to have fear. But today I want to talk a little bit also about how do you turn that fear into a stepping stone and start to turn it into gratitude so that it doesn't become a barrier. Okay. Now, we're going to be looking at ways to feed our faith and starve our fear. And let's start by talking about what I call befriending your fear. Okay. Now, what does this mean? Befriending our fear. It means embracing your fear. If we're going to be successful, we always have to be doing something that's scary, right? We're always going to be experiencing a little bit of fear, because as we're being successful and we're pushing forward, we're pushing the envelope, we're always encountering things we don't know about. And we're starting to become uncertain, and uncertainty starts to create some doubt and some fear. Okay. But it's impossible, even though we cannot not have fear, for us to be able to control that fear and actually use it to make our success even greater. We learn to befriend our fear. Now, we can acknowledge fear's presence, but then we can have that fear without the fear having us, right? We can have fear without fear having us. When you have fear, know that this is feedback. Fear is simply feedback letting us know that we are at the edge of the life that we've known, that we're growing. It's a sign and signal of growth, which is a good thing. Okay. Fear doesn't mean that we can't do something. It just simply means that we haven't yet. It means that you don't understand it yet. You haven't explored it yet. You're unfamiliar. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're exploring how to befriend our fear is to get outside our comfort zone. Okay. Our dream, by definition, will call us to step outside the life that we've known, to step outside our current paradigm. In other words, to step outside our comfort zone. Now, the life we want, the life we truly desire, is just outside that comfort zone. And that's where the magic happens. And so it's very important to step out of that comfort zone. Now, the last thing we're going to do in order to reframe fear today is to understand that greatness includes fear. Okay. If we decide to step into our greatness, fear will be a companion. Therefore, we must be willing to be uncomfortable in the interest of growth. As mentioned above, there is a difference between having fear and fear having us. We all have fear. Courage is moving forward with our fear. Be courageous. Now, speaking of fear, I want to go back and just also talk, because I just mentioned the word paradigm, and talk about what the concept of a paradigm is. A paradigm is a collection of habits which are based on our beliefs about ourselves and the world. They create our circumstances, experiences, and results. And therefore, when we notice a belief, behavior, or habit that is not in alignment with our dream, what it is we would truly love, we can interrupt and repattern the paradigm. And the process includes noticing what you're noticing, right? Having awareness of what you're thinking, pausing and interrupting the pattern of the thought. This is where you might take that slow breath that I've taught you in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw to calibrate your nervous system so that you have in that gap, in that moment, the chance to reframe and repattern. Okay? This is where we install a new pattern of thought that is in alignment with our vision. Okay. Now, but that being said, you may be wondering how to recognize a paradigm. Or asked another way, what are the symptoms of a paradigm? There are 3 common ways a paradigm might show up. The first is dissuasion. They're going to try and dissuade you from doing what it is that you want. Okay. Who am I to think that I can change an entire industry's thinking? Who's going to buy my book? Okay. You dissuade yourself from doing things because you don't think it's going to happen, or it's a delay tactic, right? Oh, I'm not going to go to the gym today. It's not really helping anyway. Okay. Second way that paradigms will interrupt you is through distraction or delay. Oh, I just got to go do that load of laundry first. I should really check my emails first. I need to be finishing my education before I start that business. I need to lose weight before I try and get a new boyfriend. Okay. Distraction and delay will also be a paradigm that will block you from moving forward and having dreams. Now, third, we have what we call in Dream Builder program, DEFCON paradigm. And this is where you really feel stuck or confused. And you simply cannot take the next step. You actually sometimes can feel physical symptoms that feel very real. And this physicality supports the paradigm's evidence of its importance. For instance, you may pick up the phone to make a call and you feel your heart pounding and you feel unsure about the words that you'll say. Your mouth may feel dry and you may even feel like anxiety about making that phone call. Okay. And that may cause you to pause and maybe not make the phone call. Now, I also want to remind you that when you recognize a paradigm like this, that this is good news. Okay. The paradigm actually comes up for repatterning, and in order for us to move into the next phase of our own becoming. Now, when we learn to reframe our perception of the paradigm, some of the fear may start to dissipate. We know that we are on the growing edge and we are laying down a new pattern of life. And that will align more fully with the life that we would love. Now, let's also talk a little bit about feeding your faith and starving your fear. Now, the first thing we need to pay attention to is our attention. Where our attention goes, energy flows. Our attention is the stream of life force that we direct, and wherever we direct it, it will magnify. Okay, where our attention goes, energy flows. Your attention is how the universe knows what you want, right? Okay, so where you place your attention, you are placing your intention. Okay, now we don't want to just feed our faith once or twice. Feeding our faith is a way of being and a way of living. We feed our faith daily, even multiple times a day. When our mind wants to pick up old thoughts that are fearful, we say to ourselves, I am now going to turn my attention to an empowered thought. Okay. And when you choose an empowered thought, a thought that is in harmony with the dream you're holding, with the life that you love, you are feeding your faith. Now, some of the ways that you can feed your faith or build your faith are, first of all, to put your focus back on what you would truly love, and be grateful for it. Okay. I am so happy and grateful now that these things have accomplished in my life. Second, you need to feel that with a feeling tone. Not only are you happy and grateful that this has happened to you and that you're living your dream, but you need to feel it. You need to act it out. Do one thing this week. Okay. Do one that I'm actually telling you to do this. Do one thing this week to step into your vision. Test drive that car. Write the speech. Create the business card. Wear the suit. Okay. Do something to put you in the dream. Now, third, see yourself in it. Visualize your arrival. Celebrate your success. Create the book cover with your image on the back. Have some fun with this. Now, fourth, keep noticing what you're noticing. Focus on the truth, not the facts. This doesn't mean that we deny the facts, but we come from the energy of the truth. And there are some differences between what a fact is and truth. I'll give you some. Okay. Now, facts, I have X number of dollars in my bank account. The truth is, I live in an abundant universe. Fact is, I have received a diagnosis. The truth is, the power within me is greater than any circumstances or conditions outside of me. Something positive can emerge from any interaction. Facts, my relationship ended. The truth is, there's a better opportunity right around the corner. Don't have a college education, statistics or group data. I'm not a statistic. Okay. There's always a truth for every fact. The state of the economy is X. Those outside circumstances are not going to affect me. Okay. The abundant universe is my source. That is the truth. All right. So how does facing your fear and feeding your faith feed into gratitude? Above all, I think that the thing that you can do in order to create a vision of gratitude is when you have a fact, circumstance, condition, or a situation that is affecting you, look at those facts and say, how do I turn those into the truth? Okay. Yes, you may only have so much money in your bank account, but you live in an abundant universe. There are a lot of other ways to receive money, and there are a lot of other forms of abundance. Okay. As I look around my life, it's amazing to me how abundant I am, despite the fact that it may not look like dollar signs in my bank account. Okay. So therein, I must be grateful. Okay. I am grateful that I have so many opportunities around me. And so Be grateful for the truth. Be grateful that nothing is bad unless you call it bad. Be grateful that there's an opportunity in every situation. Be grateful that your history does not dictate your future. Be grateful that the abundant universe is your source. I am grateful that I had the opportunity to talk to you today. And with that, I believe I am going to open it up for some questions and answer if anybody has some. You know, the one thing I want to finish up with is that, you know, just realize that the opposite of gratitude, the opposite of abundance is lack. Okay. Now, abundance, lack, frequencies. Okay. Gratitude is the frequency of abundance. So using this as a tool to create more harmony in your life is going to be huge. All right. Let's see. Do we have any questions today? Anything? I'll take a sip of my coffee while you guys get a chance to type. Okay. Alicia says that she finds that there are things that are easy to be grateful for and things that are not easy to be grateful for. And she is absolutely right. Yeah, it's pretty easy to be grateful when somebody gives you something or for getting together with a group of friends that you really like and being in their presence. But it's a lot harder sometimes when the situation that you're trying to be grateful for is challenging, right? You know, but really the thing is the greatest transformation that you can make in your vibration and your frequency is going to happen when it's not easy to be grateful, right? I always go back and talk about the fact that the Dalai Lama taught Mary about sacred friends. When she had the opportunity to meet with him and interview him the first time, after they got done speaking, he said, "Now I think you have a question for me." And she said, "Yes." And she basically asked him, how is it that you remain so grateful and calm in the face of so much violence and tumultuous times in Tibet? And the Dalai Lama told Mary, friends are easy, right? We all have friends. We love them. We are happy with them, and they make a mistake and they are easy to forgive. But then we have people who do things to us who are harder to forgive. There are people who challenge us and challenge our hearts and make it more difficult for us to be able to move forward and be happy. And he calls these his sacred friends. And basically, he said that the main sacred friend that he has is the Chinese government, not the Chinese people, because the people have nothing to do with the policies of the government, but that the Chinese government for many years has challenged him. But what he says that this sacred friend has done for him, and because this person has been in his life for so long, is that that person has made him have an open heart. He had to learn how to hold that relationship and that situation with an open heart. He had to learn to be grateful in the circumstance of the occupation of the Chinese government. And so for him, he says that he would not have been able to become as empowered as a person, as open-hearted as a person, had he not had that challenge. So let me ask you, do you have any sacred friends in your life? People who are challenging? People who make it more difficult for you to be happy and move forward? Perhaps that person is in your life for a purpose. Perhaps they are there to challenge you and help you become smarter, stronger, faster, right? If that's the case, therein you must be grateful. Be grateful for the things that make you stronger. I'm grateful for the things that have made me stronger. I'm grateful for the fact that this book challenge that I've been going through, this book writing challenge, has been more challenging than I thought. I need to not call it a challenge. Actually, I need to reframe that. This book writing process has taken longer than I expected. And I've had some sacred friends along the way pushing me, saying, "Where's your book? Where's your book?" And um, for me, what that means is, number one, it helped me make the book better because it pushed me to work to actually fine tune it and make it really a strong product. But it also continues to force me to actually work on the book when I have other things going on that sometimes are easier to do. And so I'm grateful for all those sacred friends out there pushing me for that. That doesn't mean reach out and tell me where's my book. The book is coming in perfect timing. Okay, I promise. All right. Any other questions? I don't see any more in the chat. Anybody? Well, I'm grateful that I'm here today with you, talking about gratitude, and thankful that you're here with me. Next week, we will continue our exploration of gratitude and how that we can use that to support us in our lives. We will be doing gratitude all the month of November, and I'm just so happy and grateful to have you on this journey with me. Thank you for joining me. Be sure and come live if you can, because I do this and I'm hoping to make it an interactive thing, more questions and answers, maybe some sharing as we move forward. I love doing these calls for my clients, my partners in believing, my friends and family, or anybody who wants to come and join. It's a great opportunity for me to serve you in a small and free way. And my goal is to provide the gifts that I have learned in order to help you as well, because my life has bloomed in ways I can't even describe to you in this short video. But it all starts with gratitude, and I'm just grateful that you're here. Thank you.